Hey!
Hey,
Hey! Welcome!
I forgot my jingle bells.
Yeah! Free the Soprano Player is here today with the ever-luminescent Lynn Baker, a tenor and soprano saxophone player and percussionist with a fantastic array of musical projects you will undoubtedly want to check out following this conversation. Lynn is also a professor of jazz and improvised studies at the Lamont School of Music in the University of Denver. How awesome is that? Thanks for being here, Lynn.
Thanks, Emma. It's a pleasure.
So the first thing I want to ask you is, when did you start incorporating improvisation into your music? And how did it change when you did?
Well, yeah, I have a long history of doing that. I had a really great middle school, junior high band director who he would frequently pick out the kids that seemed, I don't know, the greatest potential for trouble or the most interesting or most interested or whatever his eye caught. He would pick them out and put them together in a trad jazz band. So that's how I got into the music, was at the very beginning. Like when I was 12, I was playing trad jazz and getting paid like $6.25.
Great. Yeah.
My first paying gig playing trad jazz. But it was all backwards because we were reading out of these books and we hardly listened to it at all. We were just reading the music out of these books and we were cute little kids. But then I got to hear the Preservation Hall Jazz Band and hear them in person. And it was like, wow, that's pretty cool. So I started doing more and more of that. And when I was in college, I was at the University of Oregon, and I heard these strange sounds coming out of one of the practice rooms. So I've always been fairly gregarious. So I just went down to the practice room and knocked on the door, and then I opened it without even being asked to come in. And there was this little guy that was long hair and long fingernails, playing on a really bad Italian saxophone. They make really good saxophones now, but this one was like way out of scale, and he was playing all this weird stuff. And so I introduced myself to him. We started talking. It was John Zorn, and I started hanging out with John Zorn. It was 1976, and we started playing trios together, and we worked on one of his compositions, which was for 4 soprano saxophones playing unison. And I used to go out to coffee shops and hear him do solo concerts with like 2 or 3 transistor radios affixed to his body, turned to static and other stations, and improvising along with soprano saxophone. So that's how I got into free improvisation, was through associating with John Zorn, and then doing a bunch of stuff throughout the rest of my career in Portland, Oregon. And this was in Oregon on the West Coast. Had a trio in Spokane, Washington for a while. Had a group in Minneapolis, St. Paul called the Sound Exploration Ensemble. And then I was in Bloomington, Indiana for a while. And I was the music director of a little more straight ahead sort of group, but we used to do 2 Sun Ra shows a year in full costume. It was pretty cool. And
It's great.
And then moved to Denver and got involved with a presenting organization here called Creative Music Works. I did a whole variety of different shows with them and was the musical director of their big band for a while. And right now I'm working with as are on the links that are in the article below. A group that's called the Bottesini Project. That's a totally improvised quintet, 2 horns, 2 saxophones and a trumpet, and bass and drums. And we just did a concert collaborating with a whole bunch of dancers in a 23-acre open space down in Colorado Springs, with the conductor standing on top of the ridge, signaling cues to change to the next section of the tune by using semaphore, so like holding up flags and stuff. And it was pretty cool. Yeah, so I have a long history of engaging in improvisation, musical improvisation mostly. I mean, and then speaking is, right.
Yeah. So what is the value in it for you? I mean, what do you connect to most about doing this in music? A lot of people want to follow a purist, rehearsed approach. So the people that choose to really follow improvisation and to create those experiences, each person, I think, has a personal reason about what it brings to their life and to their music. So I'd love to hear about what your experience is and why it has become something that you pursue and continue to pursue.
Yeah, it's kind of, I was talking to the drummer in the Bottesini Project about this just the other day. We were getting ready to do a live streaming event. We like it because it's dangerous. And we don't like it unless it's dangerous. It's kind of like, I love to do it because it's like the musical equivalent of trying to jump a motorcycle over the Grand Canyon or some, crazy thing like that. There's that visceral feeling of danger, and then there's that great, when it comes together out of who knows where, there's that great endorphin rush that happens. So, it's just really being a hedonist,
Yeah, that's synchronicity that you can't explain and you can't reproduce either. It's there, and it's totally unrepeatable.
Right.
Which, yeah, the incredible rush from doing so, and then even being an observer to these kind of experiences. So as a teacher and as a musician, I mean, I'm sure you've heard this countless times. Many musicians will say, I don't know how to improvise, or I can't improvise. And so I'm wondering, how do you approach helping, musicians or students be able to liberate themselves in order to be able to feel free enough to improvise?
Right. That's a good question. One of the things that I use is sometimes I work with some of the Pauline Oliveros sonic meditations sort of things, tuning meditation. And in fact, I'm working with a group of students right now, and we're doing a distanced version of each one of her sonic meditations, and we're recording video and generating content each week doing that and posting it. If anyone is interested in checking that out, it's if you search your social media platforms for XJE Music, we will come up. One word will come up.
I'll make sure to put that link as well below so that people can have a look at it. I'm sure it'll be helpful for anyone who's interested in trying to begin to explore improvisation, but maybe doesn't really know how to connect to it yet.
And the other thing that I like to do, and I've done a lot, is Walter Thompson's sound painting language.
Yeah.
So have you worked with that, Emma?
I haven't, but it's interesting because I'm often told that the way that I write sounds like painting with words. So I have a sense now of but please explain more about it.
Painting is a gestural compositional language it's live composition conveyed through gestures. So it's really more like sound dancing than sound painting. And the musicians can play in stylistically free ways and still improvise. And that the signals are really quite simple, like woodwinds, play a long tone now, make it louder, make it softer, change the pitch up, 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 down, down, exit slowly. And that's a real simple set of instructions in sound painting. But when you do it with people who say they can't improvise, it really breaks down those walls really quickly, especially if they can already perform.
Yeah.
If they're already trained as performers, which I think is kind of what you were getting to, right?
Yeah. I mean, I meet musicians all the time that are playing shows that have no problem being in front of audiences, but they just don't really know how to liberate themselves enough to experiment freely without trying to follow something that's, more programmed or rigid, to an exact song or progression.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the sound painting is a good way to do that. And there's a website, there's an international website. Walter Thompson created this 40 years ago in a workshop with Anthony Braxton, and then he moved to Europe, lived for a long time. In fact, I still think he's living in Norway. But he was kind of like a Johnny Appleseed of this. Not only did he create it, he went all around Europe spreading the seeds of it. So there's sound painting ensembles in France. They're really big on it in France, and Norway and Spain, and there are sound painting ensembles all over the place.
So now for a little improvisation in our conversation. I would like to ask you if there's anything you might want to talk about for a few minutes that maybe someone or most people don't know about you, something that you wish came up in conversation more so that you could share thoughts on it or knowledge, but you don't get asked about enough. So here's your chance to improvise in conversation and share anything that you might like.
Well, that's a really cool thing and an interesting offer. This artwork that's behind me, my background, that looks like I'm sitting on a ring of Saturn, is done by my wife, Lynn Baker. And I wish more people knew about her artwork and what she does and what she does with her pursuits of spirituality and spirituality training and things like that. So if you're interested in that stuff, you can look up Lynn Baker and check her out. She does really, really interesting work, and I don't think it's as widely recognized as it should be. About me, it's, I don't know. It's like, I don't care what you call me, just don't call me late for dinner, that sort of a thing, you know? I enjoy lots of different type of music. One of the things that bothers me sometimes is that because I'm an improvising musician, people from that world that you were just talking about, whatever that world happens to be, don't understand that I actually know what they're doing also, and appreciate what they're doing also. We're so in the box oriented in each one of our little, you know, the contemporary phrase for it in America right now is our silos,
Yeah.
our little silos. And I wish people would not assume so much specificity and singularity in any of us when they meet us as, you know, like on Free the Soprano Player, oh, this guy must be explicitly an improvising crazy person. And I am an improvising crazy person. And I write works for orchestra too, and things like that.
Yeah, there's so many personalities that are living within any one person in forms of expression, that to try to define somebody by one project they have or one way that they experiment with their creative expression is to just deny all the, you know, the nuances of that person, and just to miss all the rest of what's there.
Right. I am multitudes.
Yeah.
Little Walt Whitman for us all.
Yeah. Walt Whitman. So my last question for you, it's a little off topic, but rumor has it that you know the elusive but highly respected jazz cat, Dr. Bop. Is it true? And if so, what can you tell his fans about the man behind the myth?
The man behind the myth, the man of the legend. Dr. Bop, man, he is like one of the coolest cats and extremely knowledgeable. Huge ears, and he can hear everything. And if you come to him with a problem of you not being able to hear something, he can immediately suss out what's happening with you and point you in the right direction to fix your stuff. And it just all it takes at that point is for you to, you know, to do the work and then check back in with Dr. Bop later and get your stuff cleaned up again.
Yeah, I've heard he's a patient yet gentle teacher.
Yes, he's extremely patient. He'll hang with you.
Thanks so much for everything you shared today, Lynn. Thanks for this. It was fantastic.
Thanks for the invitation. It's fun talking with you, Emma.